Hello, beautiful people. Ooh, hello, beautiful people. Ooh, hello, 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 beautiful people. Yay! Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Creative. Yay! I might make a jingle. I've been saying that for years. I just need to do it. I need to do it. Not I need to, I get to do it. Whenever I feel any pressure to do anything, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, oh, forget it. It's not fun anymore. Because now there's an obligation. Now there's pressure. Now there's an expectation. So let's just act like that didn't happen. And maybe next time we might have a jingle. Maybe. But hello. Hi. I watched a documentary on Netflix called What Happened, Miss Simone. And I was so inspired. And so this episode is dedicated to Nina Simone and that documentary. And so this is called Making Art for the End of the World. It sounds really dramatic. I got the windows open, so hopefully you can still hear me. But Making Art for the End of the World. If you've looked outside, no, there's a lot going on in the world, and it feels like the world is ending. An artist might think, what can I do? As I think to myself, like, what can I do? Like, this doesn't feel like what can I do to help beyond like protesting or beyond, resting, which is what a lot of Black folks are doing. But like, what can I do? I feel so small with all these big world problems, And this came to me like, make art. And so Nina Simone says, an artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. Again, an artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. I love that quote because, and I've heard it like a million times, but especially like it rings true now. Like when an artist asks, what are we supposed to do for the end of the world? It's like, make art. That's what we're supposed to do. That's literally what we were made to do is make art that people can feel. When we think about like even our history books, right? Like we read the stories in the books, but we look at the paintings, right? The paintings, people depicting what was happening, photographs, like the video, the media people being hosed, like things like that, like stick in your mind. Like they're like, whoa, like they're stamped, they're iconic moments. And it's because artists reflect the times, right? You think about the songs, and I'll get to some songs in a second from Nina because it's Nina Simone. But you think about songs that people sing that reflect the times. I think about, of course, let me just go back to the 60s. Because 60s and 70s, like you think about the music of then, like the revolution, like revolutionary music. And Nina Simone was a revolutionary musician. She was a civil rights musician. It can feel like it's unimportant. It doesn't matter. But I promise you it does. I promise. People need art to process their pain. I know that we've been taught to devalue art. I know that we've been taught to devalue nature. We've been taught to devalue a lot of things that actually are for our benefit and our good. And art helps people process their feelings and their emotions. Art helps people to touch themselves, gives them words to things they'd never have words for before. I've read a book and have had lines stick out to me. This has nothing to do with like revolution, right? This is just simply for play. When I was in high school, I used to love Twilight. I know, but I'm a Twilight girl. And or I was a Twilight girl, and I remember reading that book and like learning words that I've never read before in the readings that I've had. Like ravenous was a word that I've learned from that book, and I was like, ooh, what is this about? And like going to the dictionary and like looking it up. Like this is, I feel like when I'm about to say, I feel like, oh my gosh, am I them? But no. Like we didn't really have the internet like at our fingertips like that. It was like, oh, go look it up in a dictionary. So look it up. And I'm like, oh, okay, period. Like, but art helps people. art helps people to learn, and art helps people to reflect. This country has made us afraid to reflect the times. Like, that's our duty. Our duty is to reflect the times. And this world has made reflecting the times so hard as an artist. Everything is working really, really, really hard to not get our voices out there, to suppress our voices is a better way to say that. Everything is working really hard to underpay us, to undermine us, right? To devalue us when the world needs us. The world needs us. But this world has made us afraid to reflect the times. Algorithms force us into boxes and discourage us from telling the truth. and reflecting our times. Because all these people own everything, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, what we can say is filtered. We can't even be our full selves. We can't even really express what we really want to say because everybody's bought. Everybody's controlled. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be like this. I can feel it now. This is going to be like a very heated, conversation today. But I hope that you understand. I hope that you hear my heart. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. They want you to reflect back to them what they want to see in themselves. So like these corporations want artists to reflect back to them and everybody else what these corporations want to be communicated. So now we no longer reflect the times. Now we reflect what this corporation wants to say. This corporation wants us to believe, right? Because everything is bought. Even the music that we hear that is mainstream. And I mean, like, you know, shout out to them because we do love the music. But also some of the music that's also, you'd be like, what? Everything is bought. And I wrote down, I said, we don't have art anymore. We have commercials. All we have are ads. This thing is sponsored by this corporation, meaning that you can only say X, Y, and Z. And this is also a thing, right? As creators on YouTube, it's so frustrating because when you're being sponsored by corporations, which I guess, you know, that's the point. You're being sponsored by corporations. They still get to say, oh no, can you take this out of that video? Cause I don't like that. Oh no, you're still, in order to eat, you have to suppress yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, even other artists that are on the radio, I'm sure they want to say other stuff in their songs. And there are people on the floor saying, no, take that out the album. That doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even have as much creative control as they want to have over their art. It's so frustrating. Anyway. Whew, okay. I'm just impassioned. I'm impassioned. Okay. Yes. They want you to reflect back to them and everybody else what they want to see in themselves, what they want to go out. Everything's an ad. Anything else is suppressed or demonetized, devalued. The magic mirror was only imprisoned to reflect back, what was desired, right? Like something about mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Like, listen, I don't know the lore, so I'm probably completely wrong. I'm 100% sure I'm wrong, but the way that I saw that was the only job that person or spirit in that mirror, mirror on the wall, the only job they had was to reflect back what the queen, I'm messing this up. I don't know what the person wanted to hear. It was just to be affirming, right? And so these companies want to be affirmed. So they're like, I'm trying to say like they're trying to like hijack artists. They're trying to hijack artists to say what they want to say, but they can't because they know that we don't trust corporations. But you see what I'm saying? But these corporations be behind a lot of stuff. Like, what is the joke? It's like there's 3 people that own all of TV. You know what I mean? So it's like the illusion of choice. All we have are ads, not art. But we want to feel something real, and nothing is real anymore. I feel like the quality of everything. I was telling somebody earlier that I miss the old YouTube. And I'll probably do a separate video about that because I have thoughts. I have other rants. But like I miss the old YouTube where people were like creative and unafraid and unapologetic. And it was kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West of YouTube. But it was good because people were able to be all of themselves. And I feel like when money becomes, and not for all things, but for some things, when money becomes the prize, I guess, for the thing, like you got to play the game. And so that means that they can construct this game any way that they want to. So the problem is not the people getting paid, right? But the problem is that they have to perform for these people and these corporations, even though they're making up their platform, by the way. But they have to beg these people who own the platform that they're making wealthy for them for money that they rightly earned. People come to see them, right? So when you hold back someone's like food, then yeah, or someone's rent, then yeah, like people have to play the game. But I said all we have are ads. In some ways, we've also been harvested to sell others on something that even we don't even believe, right? Oh, we got to do X, Y, and Z. And I get it. It's survival. It's the system. That's how the system works, right? And we do it with good intentions because we want our people to survive. But it forces us to be complicit and to be a part of a system that we hate. You know what I mean? It's like we do what we have to do because we really don't want to do it, but what other choice is there, right? Like, that's how we feel. It's like, well, what else are we going to do? But I think that we can all agree that, yeah, these systems kind of suck. I think these systems suck for most people, you know? And because I think that's how it was designed. It has to suck for most people for it to be good for a few. But anywho, we play the game to survive, but we need truth. We feel stuck. Like everybody feels stuck. Our approval is directly tied to people seeing and hearing us. All of these platforms and programs are primed for consumption and trends, not for real people. But we need signs of life. We need humanity. We need all the rage, the hope, the despair. We desperately need you, not a curated, refined message that coddles the feelings of our oppressors. We need that. And it sucks because what we need is like not supported. What we need is they don't like. And y'all know who they are. Them, the people watching. They watching. But you know what I'm saying? So, but we want signs of life. And it's time for us, like, as artists, we got to make art for the end of the world. Nina expressed her rage and funneled it into song. Mississippi, goddamn. She spoke for Black folks in the South who could not. So with her music, and let me look at the lyrics. I want to look at the lyrics to this song, y'all. Mississippi, goddamn. Okay, so I don't even know how to even introduce this song, but this song was inspired, unfortunately, by the 4 Black girls who were killed at the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, and the murder of Emmett Till and the murder of NAACP Field Secretary and Civil Rights activist Medgar Evers. So this was happening. And Nina was performing music, and she was inspired to write this song. So I want to read these lyrics to you. This is our job as artists. The name of this tune is Mississippi Goddamn, and I mean every word of it. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest, and everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? It's all in the air. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. This is a show tune, but the show hasn't been written for it yet. Hound dogs on my trail. School children sitting in jail. Black cat crossed my path. I think every day is going to be my last. Lord have mercy on this land of mine. We all going to get it in due time. I don't belong here. I don't belong there. I've even stopped believing in prayer. Don't tell me. I'll tell you. Me and my people just about do. I've been there, so I know. They keep on saying, go slow. But that's just the trouble. Do it slow. Washing the windows, too slow. Picking the cotton, too slow. You're just plain rotten, too slow. They think it's crazy. The thinking is crazy, too slow. Where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know. Just try to do your very best. Stand up, be counted with all the rest, because everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn. I bet you thought I was kidding, didn't you? Picket lines, school boycotts. They try to say it's a communist plot. All I want is equality for my sister, my brother, my people, and me. Yes, you lied to me all these years. You told me to wash and clean my ears and talk real fine, just like a lady. And you'd stop calling me Sister Sadie. Oh, but this whole country is full of lies. You're all gonna die and die like flies. I don't trust you anymore. You keep on saying, go slow, go slow. But that's just the trouble, too slow. Desegregation, too slow. Mass participation, too slow. Reunification, too slow. Do things gradually, too slow. But bring more tragedy, too slow. Why don't you see it? Why don't you feel it? You don't have to live next to me. Just give me my equality. Everybody knows about Mississippi. Everybody knows about Alabama. Everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. Now, this came out in 1964. So think about how revolutionary this song was, how brave Nina was for writing and putting out this song. Nina expressed her rage and funneled it into song. Mississippi, goddamn, she spoke for black folks in the South who could not. It was inspired by 4 black girls who were killed at the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, the murder of Emmett Till, and the murder of NAACP Field Secretary and Civil Rights activist, Medgar Evers. If the world is going to end anyway, why not take up space and tell the truth? Why not create what you want to create anyway? Why not be brave? So I think about this idea about the world ending, and I think about Nina Simone, and I think about how many worlds ended for us before as black people. I think about how many times the world was ending for even like different pockets of black people all over the nation, right? And I think about like, what did they do? What did they do while the world was ending, you know? And I think about black folks right now and how like, while there's civil unrest, there's also joy, right? There's also joy. And people are very confused about black people. But that's what we've always done. We've always reflected the times. We've always been like, with our rage has always come joy. There's always been joy with our rage, right? And so we'll use something like music that is joyful, but also a lot of other things to express our rage. So the next thing I want to say is, if the world is going to end anyway, why not take up space? Why not create what you want to anyway? With Nina Simone's Mississippi, goddamn, she was not concerned with perfectionism. She was also not concerned with performing for white people. Like, that song is very like unapologetically black. It's like, I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of your ish. Like, that's what it's like. That's what it's giving, right? And in the I also recommend you watching the documentary, please, because there's a part in the documentary where she's like, "Are you ready to like unalive for your rights?" And the people on it are like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my, oh wow!" Like, Nina was like, you know, like she was serious. So anywho, please go watch it. It's a good film. It's a tragic story, but good film. We should not be concerned with perfection, but honesty. And I feel like this is the time for honesty. This is the time for bravery. And I feel like everybody's starting to become brave, which is like, it's making me happy. What is honest for you? Your perspective is important. Like, with all this stuff going on, like, we need you. We need your thoughts. We need your perspective. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need your story. I think that people think like, oh, the story's already been told, but it hasn't been told by you. And I know that's cliche, but seriously, like, no one has your experiences. No one has your eye. No one has your specific perspective. Even if we journey along together doing the same thing, at some point we're going to fork off, right? And not as like, oh, we fall out, but like, oh, we're doing different things. Like, everybody has something different to add to the tapestry. Stop filtering your art through the lens of white supremacy culture. The beautiful thing about revolution and resistance is that it gives you room to go against all the grain that was unnaturally laid, to go in the opposite direction that we were all forced in. We all hate it anyway, so be brave and honest and go the way that feels good to you. Take up space naturally, joyfully. Make no apologies. You get to be pissed off. You get to own your rage. So 4 women, my skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong. So it goes through the story of 4 women, right? And I'll put the links to the video below. I really love the one. There's Kelly. I was gonna say Kelly Rowland. It's not Kelly Rowland. Kelly Price. Excuse me. Kelly Price. Marsha Ambrosius. I never know if I'm saying her name correctly, so excuse me if I'm not. Jill Scott and Lettucey, y'all. I'm going to do a podcast about that because that performance, whoo, it's so good. Okay. So anyway, so 4 women, the song was inspired by the church bombing victims who lost their lives, and they were baby girls. Addie Mae Collins, who was 14, Carol Denise McNair, who was 11, Cynthia Wesley, who was 14, and Carol Robertson, 14. So the lyrics to a part of the song: I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slaves. There was no shame. No energy spent on trying to convince others that she was not angry, the character in the song, right? She took up space unapologetically. It's like, yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm angry, and this is why. If the world is ending, use your energy as fuel for expression, not explanation or hand holding. Those that get it, get it. Be free. Bad art is better than no art. You don't owe anyone perfection. That's white supremacy culture. And in resistance, you don't need that. When you're telling the truth, you don't need that. When the world is ending, who cares? If the world is ending, who cares? Like Toni Morrison said, it distracts. Stop trying to make sense and just make something. Stop trying to make sense and just make something. I like that. I don't know. Did I? Let me look that up. Somebody might have said that, but I like that. We need signs of life. We need something real. We need all walks of life. And it doesn't just have to be rage and sorrow. We also need your joy. As a Black woman who enjoys Black art, the world is always ending, but there is always joy. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. We need joy for the end of the world. We also need romance. We need rest, play, food. We need it all. We need the full human experience. So I was writing this down because I feel like a lot of people like to use Black people for revolutionary stuff, but they never honor our joy. Our joy is always bothersome to them. Like, our joy is always an issue. We're always too loud. We're always dancing too much. We're always too much. Like, whenever Black people have fun, Black kids have fun, it's an issue. And, but I think that they love us. They love our rage when they can funnel it and use it for them, for themselves. And so there was this interview, and I cannot find the link, and it really frustrates me, but I know this happened, okay? Quinta Brunson was sitting down with somebody, and they were talking about creating films. Forgive me, Quinta, if I'm misquoting you, but I'm going to do my best to paraphrase. And somebody asked her about, like, creating, you should have, I think it was about, like, why is it a comedy and not, like, this, like, down, whatever the context was. It was like, why don't you create films that are, like, depressing and, like, Black trauma? The paraphrase version is, I don't owe anyone my pain. Like, there's this expectation that Black people are supposed to create these films that are supposed to touch people deeply and always be, very sad and, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Traumatic. And they always like using Black trauma as their entertainment, right? And so her point was like, no, I'm creating fun stuff. Like, you don't get to just tap my pain like that. Like, that's what I took from that. And I think her quote was something about like, yeah, I don't want to make sad stuff. Like, I want to make happy stuff, and I don't want to make the Black struggle entertainment. Like, that was Quinta's thing. Like, she wants to stay light. And I'm just like, yes, we need that. We need that. While the world is ending, we need to smile. While the world is ending, we need beautiful things to look at, laugh at, to gather around. We need joy. We need joy. So yeah, so even if you feel like, oh, I don't have anything deep to offer, it's okay. We need funny. We need colorful. We need playful. We need light. We need airy. We need creative, right? Like, yeah, like that counts too. And that is also revolutionary too. Like, again, in all times of despair, because when have Black people not been in despair in this country? There has been joy. There has been beautiful things that have come from our culture that is just stunning. Like, I love watching the things on TikTok and Instagram, people putting together like collages or what do you call it? Like a slideshow of like Black culture. And it's just like, we are so stunning. like we're so amazing, and we influence everything and everybody. Like, it's amazing. Even thinking about, again, ghetto until proven fashionable or something. But to that point, I added like profitable though. Like, until other people can make money from it, whether they be social currency, they're going to call our stuff ghetto or whatever. Stop listening to them people. Why do you care about what them people think about your culture and what you do? Why do you care? They're awful people. And their standards are not very high. Why do you care about what these people think about what you're doing besides safety? Like, stop, like, do what you have to do to keep yourself safe, and then put that stuff off at the door. Like, put that down. I'm tired of us, like, repeating their stuff. Oh my gosh. Be free. But yes, like they don't want to see you happy either way. There's nothing that you can do. You can't respectability politics yourself out of their harm when they have no respect for anything or anybody or any place or any element. Like what? Why are we? Anyway. But yes. But you don't owe people your pain is my point. You don't owe the world your voice only when you're in pain. And that's my point. People love a lamenting black person. People love, again, watching black trauma on film. Like people love that. Those people, y'all know who I'm talking about. Those people love that, right? But you don't owe the world your voice only when you're in pain. You get to share when you're in pain if you want to. Absolutely, I'm for it. I'm for lamenting. I love lamenting. Okay, it's healthy. It's good to do. And people need sad songs. People need sad art. People need things to cry to. People need things to help them feel heavy things. Help them to alchemize heavy things, right? But also, you can share your happy things. You can share your happy things. The world has a way of only wanting black voices to cry out in rage and anger for their movements. But they're not concerned with our joy. They see us as tools to be used for them and want us quiet about our own. So, there was a person online on YouTube. There was this white woman specifically, and she said, like talking about the revolution that we're experiencing right now, the political unrest and all that stuff. She says, "Where are our Nina Simones?" So this is what I said. So she said, "Where are Nina Simones?" And I'm just like, how dare you ask that question? Like, black people are only here. There's a helicopter passing. But like, black people are only here for your entertainment and for your movements. Like, almost like, play for us, sing for us, make revolutionary songs for us, black people. I don't know. It was just weird. So, and so I said, she's on Spotify. Nina Simone is on Spotify. You can play her music right now so her estate can get some money. Like you can give her the honor that she's due by playing her music and honoring her. Like she was here, and stop looking for another replacement of somebody else, right? Like that's insulting. There's never going to be another Nina Simone. That's not the point. Like I get what she was trying to say. I understand that, but it's just the way that it felt so dehumanizing, right? Like, cause anytime anybody says, who's the next X, Y, and Z, I get what they're saying, but still it's like, there'll never be another them. And y'all didn't appreciate her when she was alive. She got left behind after sacrificing all of herself for the movement. The movement forgot Nina Simone. You know what I mean? And one thing that Nina said, and it made me so sad. It made me so sad. There was a point in the documentary where Nina Simone said, I wish I didn't do this because I'm not so happy now. Because she wanted to be one of the first black woman classical pianists, like one of the great ones. And she went into the movement, but the movement failed her. And so then she went into depression. And that was her stance. She said, I wish I never did this because I would have been way happier, not a very happy person now. And I wish that Nina Simone was able to tap into more of her joy than her rage. I'm glad that she got to rage, but it's like at what cost, right? Because people didn't see her as a whole human. People wanted her rage, but didn't see her as a whole person, a whole human being. That's what I'm trying to say. So, so you don't owe people that. You're entitled to be human. You're entitled to your entire humanity. The good and the bad, using air quotes, good and bad. Art is not for one-time use. Art is not for one-time use. I know that we're being primed to think that, what's the latest X, Y, and Z? Music at my fingertips. It's nothing. It's nothing. Meanwhile, it took that artist like years to write that song or, a whole breakup. Their grandmother passing away, it took them experiencing a divorce for them to write that song. And it's like, whatever, it's whatever. It's just Pro Tools and whatever the heck, and, but in the same way, they almost like did the same thing for Nina. Like, thanks girl for your service for this movement. We have no need for you otherwise. Yikes. It's, I feel like she was failed in that way. Yes, art is not for one-time use. But with people who commodify black art and black women, it is. They cycle through us, never taking us or our pain seriously. The problem is that they don't value our joy and see how that's revolutionary in itself. They don't see us as human. They see us as tools. Even today, the world is ending and Black folks are enjoying themselves, picking up hobbies, resting, playing, having fun, moving out the country. They can't see how Black joy is revolutionary. They're upset with us. They don't see us as human. These dances are part of the movement. During every movement, there has always been joy. There has always been life. We are whole human beings. Every song don't need to be a civil rights song. We also need music to dance to, to lounge to, songs that exist for no other reason but for our pleasure and our enjoyment. Toward the end of her life, Nina regretted putting so much energy into the Black Power movement and leaving no joy for herself, The Black Power movement left her behind and never restored her with joy. They used and discarded of her. Don't give yourself fully to only being honored for your suffering and not your full humanity. Her dream was to become the first Black woman classical pianist, and she regrets not doing it. Leave room for all of your humanity, all of your dreams, not just the parts that are useful for people. Leave some room for yourself. Black people are not here to simply sing and create from that sacred pain. We are human. Allow yourself your humanity. There is no shame in your humanity. We put a lot of stock into the outcome of something, but is the process enjoyable, right? If the process is not enjoyable, then it almost feels like what's the point? No, do it your way. Do it in a way that feels good to you. I understand with the advent of like art school and all this other stuff, they're oh, this is the process to whatever. Forget all of that. Forget all of it. Just for 5 minutes, just for this alone, for yourself. Create something where you break the rules. Do the opposite of what they tell you to do and see what happens. But Quinta Brunson was criticized because people were basically saying oh, these people why would you paint us in this light, talking about the principal, right? Because the principal is a Black woman and she don't be on her job, okay? And so Black women were upset about this portrayal, how could you represent us like this? We need to be seen in this light, right? But again, that's performing. Be seen in that light for who? Be seen in that light for who? For white folks, for their gaze, right? It's not even about us, because there are also other representations in that show of Black women, right? It's no, we're always worried about how white folks are going to look at us. We're always worried about what they're going to say about us and what they believe and all this other stuff. We can't even see ourselves and laugh that is also a part of ourselves. Okay? Okay. Because everybody else gets to be human. If this was a different, this is white folks, they could do this, right? Because they have permission to be human. We don't. Yes, but there's no shame. There's no shame in humanity. That is humanity. They've made us ashamed of our humanity. That is humanity. It's okay. Leave an honest mark. Forget refinement. It's killing us. Black people don't owe the world their pain. Be human, not a martyr. Create what brings you joy. Create in a way that the process brings you joy. That's what I'm trying to talk about. The process. Make the process fun. Break all the rules. If we were free, we wouldn't be trapped canaries, caged and forced to sing these songs they want to hear. These revolutionary songs that cost us all our pain. Imagine that. Imagine saying, where are the Nina Simones? Where are the Mississippi Goddams? And the whole time, it took so much death for her to write that song. It's just, they think it's just a faucet. Just flip it on. That's what it feels like to me. Knowing the story behind the song makes it ugh. Where are the Nina Simones? Because every revolutionary song that you're talking about came at a cost. And that cost was hefty. Black joy is a part of our survival. The world is on fire and we're having fun. This is not the first time the world has ended for us. Black folks are dancing to the soundtrack of the end of the world. We know we are in the future because we know what we've survived before. Boots on the Ground has become a song used in the movement. Where them fans at? As the world ends. Do the twist as the world ends. Singing and dancing at the juke joint as the world ends. Our joy has always been queer, curious, and enraging to the world who believes we are only created to labor. They don't understand how we could be joyful, but they can't give it or take it away. As you create and joy, you are also creating joyful experiences for other people. Where them fans at? That is revolutionary. That is healing. Your joy matters. Your well-being matters. You are not a martyr or a weapon to be used by others. You're no one's savior or last hope. You're allowed to say, I'm here. Black joy was always upsetting to people. They never understood why we could be so joyous under awful conditions. They tried to beat the joy out of us. Joy is tied to survival. This joy is unrelated to them, and I think that's why they're mad. We were meant to bring them joy, rest, luxury, leisure, not experience it. Reclaiming your humanity is world-changing. Joy is strength, not suffering. Justice is strengthening, not martyrdom. You are not their martyr. The world is ending, but you're here, so live. Leave your mark. Let the world know that you were here. You deserve to take up space. We need you for the end of the world. The times are bad, but what else is happening in life? There is also beauty. There's also love and romance. There's also play and fun. There are so many other things that you place your eyes on. That is worthy of being expressed and shared too. Life is happening with you right now. We need your signs of life too. So no matter how small or insignificant you think the art you want to create is, it's not. It's huge. It's huge. It's world changing. You taking up space and saying, hey, I made this thing. That's a big deal. That's a big deal because a lot of us don't even create because we don't think it's going to make us money. We don't think people will like it. We don't think we'll be good at it. We don't think we deserve it, right? Like we don't, like, who am I? No, that's silly. Like we push it down. We have all these ideas, but you did the thing. And that's a big deal. We need your signs of life. We need the jokes. We need the photographs. We need the music. We need the writing. We need the singing. We need the dancing. We need all of it. We need all of it. If for nothing else but joy. If for no other reason but joy. Your own joy first, but also other people. When there's something like magnetic about people who are enthusiastic about things. I don't have to like the topic or the subject or know anything about it. But if someone's enthusiastic about it, I'm interested. I'm like, oh, tell me more, right? Like, and I feel like joy is the same way. I think that it's contagious. Like when you're around someone who's like joyful, when someone's laughing and like they're laughing, even when you don't know what the joke is, you know how like we do that, like what's happening? We might laugh. Like it's like that. I think that seeing people in their joy, like being authentically themselves, brings me a lot of joy. And so you never know who else you're bringing joy by experiencing your own joy or centering your own joy. People need art that is not gaslighting us. A lot of art being pushed by the masses are gaslighting us and telling us to be positive and don't rock the boat. Art is the boat, and it should rock and move us. We need truth, the brave truth, not the profitable one. We need the truth that is profitable long term. A lot of the art that they are pushing onto us right now is numbing. It's numbing. You don't really feel anything. They don't want us to think or question or create. They want us to labor. Even the platforms don't want us to be honest. You got to please them to tell the truth or be honest. Because these corporations and platforms have basically like strong-armed us into giving them our art and our creativity, because where else are we going to go that we can get paid for our stuff, that people can find us? They've like lured us in low key in the beginning, like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, the people who follow you will follow you, for example, for YouTube. And then now it's like, oh, you want your people to see you, who subscribe to you, who said they want to see you and subscribe to you. You got to play our game now. Oh, you want to make money? Oh, you got to play our game now. Like it's really, they've done a good job at controlling what we say, what we think then, because if all we're seeing is the same thing, people are afraid of saying the opposite because they don't want to be demonetized. People are afraid of giving a different perspective or opinion because they don't want to be jumped by the masses or suppressed in an algorithm. It's really hard for artists to be honest right now. But the world is ending. The world is ending. I honestly feel like this cannot last. I've been said, like, this system is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Capitalism, the way that we know it here in the West, capitalism is not sustainable. The way that we live, the way we operate, the way that we're always like grabbing resources from the earth, it's not sustainable. It has to end. It has to end. And whether that be the end of the world as we know it, which I think is a good thing because it can make way for a different world, a better world, a righteous world, right? Like I feel like we're like upside down, like it could flip it right side up. That's always cool. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, like while the world is ending, I feel like people need people need humanity. There's this conversation that I want to have, and Amy McNee, who is also a creative, she's a writer. She has a book called We Need Your Art. She talked about this as well. So I want to talk about it because I'm just like, but I think I want to talk about it in a different video maybe. It's about AI. But I guess I could wrap up my thoughts right now. A lot of people are afraid. Artists, let me come down. Hello. Okay. A lot of artists are afraid because people like Timbaland are signing AI artists, and like, yeah, like sign, like what does that even mean? So Timbaland, one of the greats, okay, has done this whole thing where he signed an AI artist, and a lot of people are like, oh no, what's going to happen to the music, blah blah blah, like they're gonna, they're just gonna have AI make music, there's going to be no need for artists. Let me tell you something right now. I don't think that art is going anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't think that human-made art specifically is going anywhere. I think it's literally going to become a commodity because everybody can make everything on demand. But even when you hear like a song or like you see a painting made by AI, there's something a little detached. There's something that just like is unsettling. I think one thing she said in her video was like, messiness is going to be good. And to that point, it's like what I wrote down, and I can't find the notes, so I'll probably just make another video about it. But like, don't give into perfectionism, because literally that's what AI is aiming for, perfection, while you're aiming for connection and humanity. A computer can't create that, right? Like a computer can't choose to like bend the note because you want to convey an emotion. A computer can't do that. A computer can't, you know what I'm saying, can't create a whole new genre. A computer cannot do that. AI is only made up of people. Without people, you have no AI. Without people, you have no art, right? So anyway, I don't know what's going to become of the AI thing. There's already some things happening. I've seen, I need to make that video. I'm going to make a video about it. But yeah, like, we need your humanity more than ever is my point. This is like, it's getting very weird out here. And, yeah, we need your humanity. We need your messiness. We need your imperfections. Like, now is your time to shine. So we can say, oh yeah, that was made by a human. Why? Because it has human error. We're so afraid of making mistakes. And that's literally what humans, we only consider them mistakes because somebody made the thing be the standard. Somebody else chose the standard. You didn't choose that standard. Why does your stuff got to be bad because somebody else don't like it? What that got to do with you, right? Like, even I'm learning to be kinder to myself in my own creations because I'm a recovering perfectionist. And it only works against me when I'm creating something, right? Because my soul, my spirit, my body doesn't want to create perfectly. It doesn't want to be perfect. It doesn't want to perform. It wants to play. And that's something that I've changed, like a concept of mine as a singer. When I used to take gigs, I was so nervous. I could throw up. I was so nervous, and I was shaking, and I couldn't breathe, and I was like low-key having a panic attack. I just didn't know it because I didn't have the language. And it's because I felt like I had to perform. I had to please people, right? Because in order to be kept safe, that's why I formed the habit of people pleasing. In order to be kept safe, I have to be liked. People have to approve of me. People can't not like me or I won't have my needs met. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's happening outside, but everybody's flying today. Everybody's flying today. I also feel like that's terrorizing. Like just a helicopter casually flying overhead in your neighborhood. Isn't that like, anyway. So trying to be perfect was not working for me. People pleasing. So people pleasing. I was people pleasing to have my needs met. And I was bringing that into my art. And so my art is where I got to be free. It's where I got to have fun. But I can't do that if I'm trying to be perfect and please everybody else. So I would filter what I was saying. I would filter choices I wanted to make. I was afraid to try things because I couldn't have my voice crack. I had to make choices that I was sure of, but I couldn't experiment. You know what I mean? And that stifled my expression. Because when you're singing to please instead of play, you don't get to play. You don't get to explore. You don't get to meet other parts of yourself because you're too busy serving this one version of yourself only to people so that you get approved of. You know what I mean? So you don't have to please anybody anymore. The world is ending. If the sky is falling, you may as well do what you want to do anyway, as long as you don't hurt nobody else. Y'all know what I say, as long as you don't hurt nobody else. Again, we understand nuance. We think critically. We are kind. But yes, like, we don't need no more perfection. Their systems, perfection, their systems work to benefit them and them only. Because if you're always performing perfection for them, you'll never accept yourself. You'll never be free enough to really meet the boundaries of yourself. Meet the expanded version of yourself, I'll say. Right? You never get to really be a full human being if you're always trying to be perfect. And for the end of the world, we don't need perfect. We need honest. We need brave. We need you. We need you. We need your truth. We need your perspective. We need the flowery stuff, from the flowery and the airy fairy and the sci-fi and the like the imaginative, like it's all imaginative, but like from the light stuff that like brings us joy and also brings us escape, to the heavy things that help us process what we're feeling. Like, we need all of it. There's no right way to show up. And I think I'm saying that because I need to hear it, even with this, like showing up on camera, it's like, oh, I got to have the right background. I'm a human being. Yes, I be messy. I don't know what to tell you. like, who am I performing for? This is my house. This is my place. You know what I mean? So, I'm saying that to say, like, we perform so much of our lives, so many choices we make, and so many things we don't do is because of what other people say or think, or what we're afraid they're going to say and think. They may not have said it, or we know what they're going to say. But the world is ending and we need you. So I'm going to go back to Nina Simone's quote. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. Yeah. Reflect the times. Wherever you find yourself, whatever you find yourself doing, reflect that. I love scrolling and seeing Black women roller skating and dancing and cooking and just talking on TikTok about anything. Like, I love seeing Black women just being, So yeah, we need you to reflect the times. Make art for the end of the world. All right. I feel another version of this coming along, another something else. But anyway, I hope this was enough for you. I hope you got something from this. I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to put down that perfectionism, put down the need to bleed yourself for other people, put down your need to perform for other people. Put on your rage if you want to, put on your joy. Be human, be fully expressed. Like, one day you could be rageful, the next day you could be joyful. That's the human experience. That's honest. That's honest. Everybody should be enraged with what's happening right now. That's honest. Everybody should be grieved by what's happening right now. And we need art that reflects that rage and that grief. We need all of it. We need joy. We need the boots on the ground. We need all of it. Everything in between. Yeah. So, create art for the end of the world. All right. And until next time, y'all, I'll talk to you later. Keep creating, keep making, and love yourselves.